I know cardio may not be everyone's favorite thing to do, but it's a pretty important part of fitness. Now, in today's world, virtual training is really big. Companies like NordicTrack are pretty much killing it in terms of offering these virtual training classes with their workout equipment. I've been using the NordicTrack Commercial 1750 for a while now, and there's a lot to talk about with this beast of a treadmill. What's up everybody, it's Jake back in the BarBend garage gym, and for today's video, I have the NordicTrack Commercial 1750 in for review. In this video, I'm gonna tell you everything there is to know about this treadmill, from the price, the features, some pros and some of the cons, and of course, who should or maybe should not buy one of these. But before I get going with all that, we've reviewed a lot of treadmills on BarBend.com. So if you want to browse our best list, just go ahead and search BarBend best treadmills, and you can find out for yourself which ones that we like the best. Okay, so there's a lot that I like about the 1750. First of all, I really like the fact that you do have that touchscreen monitor. It's a 14-inch display. It rotates 360 degrees, but it's also gonna tilt back and forward for whatever is most comfortable for you. But cool thing is, there's tons of workouts loaded onto this monitor with iFit. You can obviously do some cardio on this treadmill, but if you have any strength equipment, you can also do some strength training classes, do some yoga. There's a lot you can do. There's over 16,000 classes to be exact that you can do right here at your fingertips, which is really cool. You have incline and decline settings, so this will decline down to 3%. It's also going to incline up to 15%. You have 12 speed levels as well, and all three of those things are going to be automatically adjusted during the middle of your workout, depending on what that specific workout is. You have incline, decline, and speed setting buttons on either side of the monitor, but you also have some buttons underneath. That way you can do some more manual and more precise adjustments. So for example, on either side of the monitor, it's gonna jump up higher than it will with the buttons. So let's talk about the incline and decline. So if you use the buttons on the left of the monitor, it's gonna jump a full degree every single time you press one of those buttons. But if you use the manual adjustments underneath, it's actually gonna cut that in half, which can be pretty helpful. And the same goes for the speed as well. So let's say you don't wanna jump from 3 miles per hour to 4 miles per hour. You can use that manual adjustment on the bottom and go up by 0.1 increments. So that's gonna be really helpful for a lot of people out there. One more thing about speed though before I move on. So the buttons to the right of the monitor, actually pretty cool right here. If you double tap that 5, it's actually gonna go to 5.5 miles per hour, and that's all the way through all the speed options that are available. You have start and stop buttons underneath the monitor, and in between both of those buttons is that stop key. It's a really nice safety feature. If the treadmill's moving too fast, if you need to hop off of it for whatever reason, just pull that key out and everything's gonna come to a complete stop, which is just a nice safety feature right there. You have speakers underneath the monitor. You have a built-in fan. You have 2 water bottle holders, which is really nice. The water bottle might wobble around a little bit, but it's not too bad. You also have Bluetooth capabilities for your headphones, your phone, a heart rate monitor, and a Bluetooth speaker, which is really cool. And I also really like how this platform right here with the actual tread itself is gonna fold up because of the hydraulics underneath. It's gonna be really nice as you go to move it around your personal space. And to move it back down to its original position, all you have to do is take your foot and press up against that hydraulic and then pull down at the same time. And it's basically gonna take care of everything on its own and get back down to the floor. Okay, so let's talk about a few potential issues you might run into with the 1750, and let's go ahead and talk about space. This treadmill is pretty large. I don't necessarily think it's the biggest treadmill out there on the market, but it's definitely not the smallest. So, space might be an issue for some people, and finding that right area for it to go in your home. It's also pretty expensive. This is listed right around $2,000. If you want a more basic treadmill, you can definitely find one for cheaper. You're gonna receive a free month of iFit with your purchase, but after that, you're gonna have to pay about 40 bucks a month just to gain access to the available classes. Now, you don't have to do that. There's manual modes and stuff like that you can do, but I personally think that's pretty essential with this product right here. You also have to have a really strong Wi-Fi connection. Now, I'm in a garage, I'm not right up next to my Wi-Fi router, so sometimes things load a little bit slow for me, but that's also because, like I said, there's 16,000 plus workouts loaded onto this monitor for you to stream. So that definitely is playing a factor in that download speed and just overall, quickness of everything as well. Now, because of the size, this is obviously a pretty heavy treadmill. So thankfully there are some wheels located underneath. It's gonna help you move this around your home a little bit. But I gotta say, they're in kind of a weird spot. And so honestly, if you were to take anything from this, I would probably suggest you keeping it in one spot and not really trying to move it around, because it's definitely not the easiest thing in the world. And if you take a quick glance at the monitor right here, you'll notice there's a camera on top. Some of you might get excited when you first see that, thinking you're gonna have some virtual coaching you can sign up for. But I was a little bit disappointed that camera doesn't really serve any purpose right now. Now, I'm sure that NordicTrack, in the not too distant future, is gonna add a feature where that camera is utilized. But as of right now, as I'm shooting this video, that camera doesn't do anything. Okay, so let's expand on the pricing now for the NordicTrack Commercial 1750. This treadmill is available for right around 2,500 bucks, which is definitely not cheap. So if you want to save some money, they do offer a treadmill for about $1,000. And if you have a pretty big budget, you could spend some more money on one of their options that features an incline up to 40 degrees. Now, the grand scheme of things though, I think this is the best value treadmill that they have available. But if you want to save over $1,000, you can get that cheaper one they offer, or you can save even more money and go find yourself an even more basic treadmill out there, especially if you don't necessarily care about streaming all the workout classes and all that stuff. Now, compared to the rest of the market though, it's actually a pretty solid value considering you do get all of those luxury features. Now, similar to the rest of NordicTrack's equipment, they're gonna allow you to finance this purchase if you don't wanna spend $2,000 up front. This is gonna be determined on your maintenance plan you go for and extended warranty and all that stuff. But if you were to just go for the basic standard version of this treadmill, they're gonna give you two different options. You can make monthly payments of about 50 bucks or so for 39 months, or you can pay about 170 bucks for a year and pay it off. Okay, so let's talk about the classes that are loaded onto your monitor. Now, there's a lot, so I can't really talk about all of them, but I just want to highlight it a little bit. So you can do your standard, treadmill class. You can do it in a studio experience where you have a personal trainer and there's people in that room with that trainer kind of adding some motivation for you. Or, you can do like a global kind of workout and pick almost any city in the world to go to, and that trainer is going to be walking or running with you wherever you are. So I just did a simple, walking workout the other day with a trainer, and they were walking me around the city, and it's really cool because I was learning all about the architectural stuff with the buildings and the culture and everything. I'm kind of a nerd with stuff like that, so not everybody is going to feel the same way about it as me. I think that's really cool, especially during an intense workout. It's going to distract you a little bit and make that time go a lot faster. Trust me, it definitely does. Aside from that though, there's a lot of other classes. As I said, you can do some strength training classes with some dumbbells. You can do some yoga, you can do some simple stretching. They have TED Talks available. I mean, it's essentially endless with the opportunities that you have with the classes that you can join. Another really cool thing is that, I talked about you don't have to have iFit. You can do your own manual workouts where you can control the incline, the decline, the speed, all that stuff. But you can also use Google Maps because they're paired up with iFit and with NordicTrack. You can pick really any city in the world. So we're in Nashville. So the other day I was like, you know what? I might as well act as if I'm walking around downtown Nashville. So that's exactly what I did. I made my own workout. And they use the Google camera, like street camera. You can follow along and go down the actual streets. Now, it's not perfectly seamless, but it's still a really cool feature. And say you're training for the Boston Marathon or any other marathon, kind of fill in the blank, you can map out that route and then practice that route, so that way when that time comes around, you're ready to go. And then I also just think it's really cool how during your workout, everything's gonna be adjusted from the incline, the speed, the decline, all that's gonna be automatically adjusted in direct correlation to whatever course you're on. So for example, I was walking around downtown Nashville the other day on this treadmill. I was going down a hill and all of a sudden, this went into a 2% decline and then it leveled back out and then I had to go uphill. So it's gonna be really cool. It's gonna add some intensity during the middle of your workouts. Okay, so let's take a second and talk about the companion app with iFit. This is a really cool feature in my opinion. Not only can you track all of your stats and your workout history and stuff like that, but let's say you're out of town, let's say you're away from home, whatever the case may be, you can pull up any kind of workout that you want to do directly from your phone and stream it right then and there. So that's really cool. You're not tied down to your equipment. That's just a really nice touch. Now you can track all of your workouts, over the past week, month, year, years past. You can check everything out. You can click on the calendars tab and it's going to pull up all your recently completed workouts. The trophies tab, that's going to show you any, achievements challenges that you may have completed. You can also click on discover. It's going to show you a bunch more for you to do. And you can just sit there and scroll for hours at a time, honestly, and just find all these different workouts that are, literally right there at your fingertips. And that's just really cool. Okay, so let's talk about some of the technology that's going to be at your disposal with the 1750. So starting with the monitor, it's a 14-inch display. It is touchscreen, which is really nice. It's going to tilt whichever way you want it to go, but it's also going to rotate 360 degrees. So let's say you want to do a stretching class, for example. You can flip that monitor around. You can stand on the other side of your treadmill and you can follow along with that class. So that's pretty cool. The wattage for the speakers is not listed online, but they honestly sound pretty solid to me. They definitely get the job done. There's a lot of music loaded onto the monitor and it's, actual up-to-date current music, so that's pretty cool. And I also really like the automatic adjustments with the incline, decline, and the speed. That's really helpful, especially, as you're following along with whatever course, whatever city you're in, it's gonna follow along with the actual road you're on. So that's just a really cool feature right there. You also have Bluetooth capabilities for your headphones, Bluetooth speaker, heart rate monitor, you can kind of, you name it, it's gonna pair up with your treadmill, and that's a really cool feature as well. And I really like the integration with Google Maps. Like I said, if you're planning on running in a marathon, you can map out that marathon on your monitor right here and practice and be ready to go for when the day comes where you're actually competing in that marathon. Now, don't get me wrong, the belt right here definitely makes some noise. It is a treadmill, you're gonna hear it, but it's not like it's the loudest treadmill in the world. So that's really gonna come in handy for any of my early risers who like working out, or maybe even if you like working out late at night. Okay, so let's break down the build now and some of the features with the 1750. There's definitely more plastic than steel used right here with the framework. But I mean, that's pretty common with a treadmill, right? And I don't really think that's any reason to turn away from this treadmill. It's still really nice quality. In terms of your dimensions, this treadmill is about 80 inches long, around 38 inches wide, and about 65 inches tall. So it's definitely big, to say the least. You do have a set of wheels, you have two sets of wheels actually underneath this treadmill. And that definitely helps in terms of making it portable, moving it around your personal space, but they're not really in the best spot they could be in, so it can definitely be a little bit tough to move it around. This treadmill weighs about 350 pounds, so those wheels are definitely gonna come in handy. And it also has a max weight capacity of 300 pounds. That's a pretty solid number right there itself. You have two plastic cup holders that are big enough to fit almost any water bottle that you could have. And you do have a 10-year warranty on the framework of this treadmill, which is, it's a really nice warranty right there. Now you do have that 14-inch touchscreen display. It's gonna be really nice. I really like how it rotates and tilts. It's a little variety right there. I really think those automatic adjustments are gonna be super helpful for a lot of people, but also like how you have, your own manual adjustments you can make on either side of the monitor as well as underneath it. I really like those ones underneath because, it's not gonna jump up as fast as it will with the buttons on either side of the monitor. So it's a nice added variety right there. And we cannot forget about that built-in fan. You have your own manual adjustments you can make as well for that fan speed and the volume as well. You can adjust the volume level of the music, your instructor, your overall volume, that's all on the touchscreen, but you also have those, overall button adjustments for the volume underneath that monitor. All right, so let's go ahead and break this down up close and just kind of show you how everything functions. So I want to talk about these wheels first. Yes, they're here, but they're kind of in a weird spot. Now, there's a set of wheels right here, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense in my opinion. And they're also down here, which, that definitely makes more sense, but I think it would be more helpful if the wheels were located, I guess, on the back, of the treadmill. That way you can like push it instead of having to pull it to you. It can just be a little weird sometimes. Now, This is really helpful. This is the hydraulics right here. Definitely gonna help you out in terms of space. You know, you can fold this up and kind of move it around and, you know, kind of fit it in the corner of your room, I guess, if you wanted to. It's really simple to fold it up. You just lift up right here on this little handle and it's gonna stay upright right here for you. Now, to move it back down, you just simply put your foot right here where the indicator is and pull at the same time. And it's gonna come down on itself, and you can let go and it's gonna slowly go down there and just kind of take care of that for you. You could also give it a little push and help it out a little bit if you want to. But that's really a simple process, and I think that's a pretty cool feature right here. Now, I might as well talk about this actual platform right here. You have a really nice grip right here. You know, you're not gonna feel as if you're slipping around a little bit as you're running. And I found that to be especially true, you know, as you know, you go up in speed, it's just gonna help you out in terms of that traction and, you know, keeping your foot where it needs to be. So let's transition further up now. You know, this little handle right here, as well as these arms, is gonna be really nice. You know, if you get tired, you wanna kind of rest your hands. But you know, as you can see, there's no type of heart rate sensor built into this right here. And you know, that would be kind of cool. The last model did in fact have that, but they took that feature away. And they also used to have a tray down here for you to store some more stuff. I'm personally like not having that, but I think these heart rate sensors right here would be a really nice touch, especially if you don't have a heart rate monitor. Now, right here on this, underneath this monitor right here, you'll find all of your manual adjustments for the incline, your speed, start, stop. There's also that stop key right here. You just pull out on it, everything's gonna stop immediately for you. So that's really, really nice in terms of safety. Your fan speed is right here, as well as your overall speed of the treadmill. And these are those two cup holders I was talking about. You know, as you can see, they're pretty big, and you can fit the majority of water bottles. It really doesn't matter how big it is, in my opinion. I think they're gonna fit for the most part, except for maybe like a gallon jug or something. All right, now let's transition to this monitor. But first, you know, you do have your incline and decline, as well as your mile per hour adjustments right here on either side. I'll talk about that more in just a second, especially that mile per hour, so just hang tight. But this is a 14-inch touchscreen display. Your speakers are right here underneath the display. As you can see, you know, I've got my profile. You can also invite up to 4 different people on your iFit membership, which is, you know, pretty cool. You can split that monthly payment or yearly payment, really however you want to do it. You can also essentially split everything together, including the actual price tag of this treadmill. So that's pretty cool. So I'm just gonna click on my name right here, go ahead and head to the home page. As you can see, you know, there's a lot of classes. It's taken a while to load. So actually, you know what, I might as well go ahead and connect to my hotspot. And all of these settings are gonna be right here on the side. I know it's kind of small and it's kind of hard to see, but we're gonna click on Wi-Fi and go ahead and change our settings. I need to make sure that my hotspot is turned on, but that doesn't take very long now, does it? All right, so once this pops up, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and select my phone and get that hotspot rolling. Okay, so now we're good to go. And while I'm here showing you this menu, I might as well show you the rest of everything you can do right here. Now, there's a lot you can do. You can switch your profile, you can invite users here. Your Bluetooth accessories option is here. You can change your appearance, put it in dark mode or keep it in light mode, or you know, vice versa, whatever. You can click on my account right here. It's gonna show all your personal stuff. You can, you know, edit all of that, and it's gonna really boil down to the type of workouts you wanna do, how often you wanna work out, how often you are active, all that good stuff. You can edit all that right there. Now, you can see your past 7 days. You can change that to, you know, past 30 days, year to date, and all that good stuff. As you keep scrolling, you'll see latest from iFit, challenges, recommended workouts, and series. But you can also browse by category, you know, running, walking, hiking, walk, run, beginner. There's a lot of different, you know, options right there for you. You can click on create, or that's calendar, excuse me. It's kind of hard to see. That's calendar. You're gonna see a bunch of different things right there if it were to load. You're gonna see create right here. And it pulled up Cape Town, South Africa right there. That's really cool to me. You know, if you wanna explore a city you've never been to before, you know, that's pretty cool. You can definitely do so right there. And you can see that street view camera if you want to. You can also go to browse. I'm gonna go ahead and exit that right there. We're gonna go to browse, and from here, I mean, this is really gonna pull up a full library of everything that is offered, and there's filters right here. You can search by the trainer, the type of workout, you know, if you're gonna be needing any type of equipment, you know, all of that. And you can see right here completed stuff as well. So you know, I did one in New York the other day, I did one in Nashville the other day, and that's just really cool. All the challenges are gonna be right here again. There's iFit 101. can do your studio classes here, you know, walk on the beach, in a desert, in the forest. There's different landmarks you can choose from. That's just really cool to me. You know, it's gonna really, you know, cut down on mentally how long the workout feels and just kind of distract you a little bit. So that's really cool. Now you can also go to Trophy Case, and if you have any type of challenges you've completed, you know, it's all gonna pop up right there. And you can also click on Discover Challenges over here to the right, and it's gonna pull up, you know, all the different types of challenges that you can do. As I said, you know, it does kind of take a while to load sometimes. I am on a hotspot, but there's a lot right here for it to load. So, you know, it's kind of just give it some leeway right here and just be patient. I promise it'll be worth it. Now, if you go back to home, one more thing right here, you can do manual start, and I'm actually gonna hop up here now. I wanna go ahead and show you guys, you know, you can tilt this monitor. Let me stand on either side, start moving on me. You can tilt this monitor pretty far up, you know, if you're really tall, you know, that way you don't have to crane your neck too hard, you know, just to stare at the screen. This also is gonna rotate 360 degrees, so that's really nice too. It doesn't keep going, but it will rotate just like that on the other side too. That way you can stand off the actual treadmill, go over on the back and do any other workout. Now, up here at the top, you're gonna track your incline, calories burned, time elapsed, your distance, your speed, all of that. And it's gonna be able to, if it would work for me, it's gonna show you all this other stuff too, all these other stats. But we're gonna go in the warm up and get right into it. And as you can see, it has a 1/4 track length right here. And honestly, you can just go ahead and get on it and just get straight to your workout. Now, I talked about how you do have these manual adjustments down here. That's gonna be really helpful. You know, you can obviously click incline, and we're gonna start inclining right here. As you can see that go up for me. But if you don't wanna do it that slow, you know, those are pretty small increments, pretty small adjustments. Let's say you wanna go, you know, straight to a 10%. Well, you can press that 10 up here, and it's gonna go ahead and do all of that for you. All right, so whenever you're in the middle of your workout, your manual one specifically, you know, you can adjust the incline. Let's talk about that. If you press this button right here, it'll show you on the screen, it's gonna go up in 0.5% every single time, or you can press, you know, one of these buttons. I'm gonna press 15, and it's gonna go all the way up to that 15-degree grade, which is really cool. It's kind of just gonna do it on its own, and that's really easy. And the same goes for the speed. So here, let me go ahead and bring this back down to 0 once it's done. Go ahead and bring it right back down. It's really seamless. It does it at a pretty quick rate. You can also change your speed right here with this manual adjustment. And that's gonna go in 0.1 increments, but if you wanna go ahead, let's go ahead and move it up to 3. This thing kicks in right away on its own. Another cool thing is you can double tap that 3, and it goes to 3.3 miles per hour, which is a really cool feature. Same thing goes for 5.5. You can go ahead and go right there. And then you can go ahead and increase it more if you want. Go ahead and press that 10, and you can really get going. But we want to go ahead and bring it on back down. Just like that, and go ahead and bring it right back down to 0. Now we're cruising again. One thing that would be cool to have, would be this camera actually serving some type of purpose with a personal trainer, for example. You can kind of interact. As of right now, that's not a feature, but I really would not be surprised if NordicTrack adds that in the not too distant future. A couple more things here right here. I'm gonna go ahead and press stop. Come to a complete stop right here. You can end your workout. And at the end, you know, it's gonna show you your workout stats. Mine wasn't very long right then. It was just for the purpose of this video. But, you know, it's gonna break down every single thing and, you know, distance, calorie burn, and it's gonna show like the max speed you were on, the max incline you were on. Do the same thing with decline if I would have done it right then. And if you're in any type of class, it's also gonna have a leaderboard based off of your personal stats that you had right then and there. Now, one last thing though, you do need a 3-prong outlet to power this treadmill. The cord's pretty long though, which is really nice, but you do have a power switch located on the back, up here on the front technically, and it's really recommended that you flip that switch to off and then unplug your treadmill every time you're done using it. That way you can avoid any type of potential power surge and then everything's fried. You definitely don't want that. Okay, so let's talk about the people who might want to purchase this treadmill. Well, anyone looking for a treadmill with tons of classes available at their fingertips, ding, 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 I think you found your winner right here. If you're looking for a high-tech treadmill that has a lot of features, I think you also want to take a hard look at this one right here, because there's a lot, especially those automatic adjustments. Plus, you can create your own custom workouts literally anywhere in the world. So if you want to spend the afternoon in Egypt, maybe in Alaska, maybe over in London, wherever it is in the world, you can do it, which is really cool. And when it comes to those who might not want to purchase this 1750, in my opinion, it really just boils down to 3 different things. Let's talk about the money first. If you don't want to spend $2 grand on a treadmill, you definitely don't have to. You can find some cheaper ones out there. This is a luxury item though, and that's why you're paying that luxury price tag. And let's say you don't care about streaming your workout classes. No, you don't have to do so. You don't have to sign up for iFit, but that's how this treadmill was intended to be used. And if you're not gonna use that, then I definitely suggest saving your money on a more basic treadmill. And lastly is the space. A treadmill is a treadmill. It's gonna take up a good amount of space regardless of the brand, the model, the make, whatever it may be. It's gonna dominate a good amount of space. That's especially true with the 1750 though. So, some of you may just simply not have enough space for this to be added to your home. Well, that's all she wrote for today's review over the NordicTrack Commercial 1750. I've been really impressed with this treadmill. I really like the automatic adjustments. Also really enjoy the inclusion of iFit because I'm really never gonna run out of workouts to do. It is pretty expensive. It's also pretty big and it can be a little bit difficult to move around at certain times, but if you do have the budget for it and the space for it, I think you're gonna be pretty pumped with this purchase. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope this video was really helpful and that I was able to tell you everything that you need to know about this treadmill. As always, stay tuned for my next video, but for now, I think you should definitely head over to BarBend.com to read more about this awesome product. All you gotta do is search BarBend NordicTrack Commercial 1750 Treadmill Review, and you'll find all the details and everything that we talked about here today. I'll catch y'all next time.